So in this one, I want to go over the, I would say, new and maybe improved, kind of, haven't seen it yet, so we don't know, but new and different GamePress tier list, how they're sorting it by. So you see here important notes: 1% banner units equals 7 stars, 0.25% Legends Limited units are at 3 stars, and they explain why every Legends Limited unit, where would they be at 6 stars. So they did not change them, their placings. They are taking into consideration, though, post this anniversary, and for, let's say, big celebrations like Black Friday UI Goku. Even if let's say he was 0.5%, it was a big celebration, we knew it was coming. I think it'd be fair and easy to say, oh, we should rate UI Goku at 6 stars, not 3 stars, given if he had the 0.5 rate. He did not, but if he did, it would have been more justified to rate him at that, because it was something we knew was coming, a celebration, something was coming. Just like anniversary, you predict something's coming, you're saving for it. The likeliness of you having that new LF at 6 stars is a lot higher than future Gohan or Rose when they just dropped randomly. So if they do change it, just consider that's the reason for it, because it's expected for these LFs to be coming for the specific dates and celebrations that we have every year. Alright, getting into it, Z tier. So they have changed Z tier. You see it in the thumbnail? 3 units are gone, 3 units have stayed. Now, Z tier, best fighters in the game, really don't have to go into it any further. LF Gohan, yes. 18, yes. Super Saiyan 3 Goku stayed here over Gogeta, Bardock, and Purple Super Saiyan 3. Now, is this a mistake? No. Okay, if you've seen any of my videos, this guy's in at least one match every single video, if not 2, 3, or 4, depending how many matches are in that video. He's just everywhere, man. And we look at his explanation. Look, you can see it. So let's see his stat spread, right? 12, 23, 5, 7, 7. Defensive, this guy's a juggernaut. You see him number 7. I'm pretty sure Super 17 is below this guy, and Super 17 is a defense type. Just so you know, they did incredible stat buffs to this guy. On top of, he has a god tier unique equipment, well, platinum equipment for himself that gives him the same power level Beerus got when he got his platinum equipment, which was a lot of damn power. If that ever awakens, when it does, this guy will be a lot better than he already is somehow. And on top of that, his health is number 12, which is ridiculous. So why this tier? His Zenkai boost has finally done him justice, as he's a formidable fighter in multiple facets of PvP. PvP matches can quickly get out of hand if he's able to force enough switches. Yeah. Sparking Super Saiyan 3 Goku was a bit underrated on release. While seemingly balanced, he's still exceptional all-around unit that has a ton of durability and nuclear bomb ultimate that's hard to survive. Yeah, to any character in the game, it is hard to survive. He still possesses his cover rescue, which puts a lot of pressure on the opposing team. Most importantly, his ultimate move, supplemented by his main ability nullifying color disadvantage, is now one of the hardest hitting ultimate moves in the game. Not many can afford to stand in its way, especially if he's managed to build up some buffs via his Thank You Dragon Ball's unique ability. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I said this when this guy, Zenkai, got announced. He could be as good as LF Gohan if they made his ultimate, or his main ability, last a little bit longer. Now, I think it was 3 timer counts before Zenkai. If I'm incorrect, let me know. But I believe it was 3 timer counts. If it wasn't 3, it was 5, but it was not as long as it is now, which is 10. Now, LF Gohan has that type neutral-esque thing. Well, type neutral. Not as free as Goku. But the thing is, Gohan's teams, you don't really care if the other guys die. Goku, it's free. I understand why he's below Gohan, I understand why he's below 18. He is not their level. He never will be their level because they were mistakes. You can tell by how the game is Zenkai characters now. That is what they wanted from the get-go. Even from the beginning, you saw Namek Goku was very underwhelming. You saw Beerus was the best unit in the game when he Zenkai'd. And you saw Blue Broly was in the middle. He was middle of a pack. He wasn't god tier. He wasn't underwhelming. But he was middle. They kept trying and trying and trying. You saw Boo become broken. You saw Red Trunks be mediocre. Decent, I guess. Not even mediocre. Scatter Vegeta be dog shit. DKP broken. They were trying and trying and trying and trying. And then, well, they succeeded after they made these two broken, completely busted Zenkais. Real quick, my opinion, if Gohan and 18 were balanced Zenkais, I would say Bardock is probably the best character in the game. Like, his Zenkai is not broken, but he is broken on his own because his uniques. But I do understand this list. Removing units from Z tier makes sense to me. It doesn't have to be this spot where it's, okay, this character is the best in the game because this specific team scenario. No, it's the individual units are the best in the game because of their individual kits and how they are built and how they were tweaked and worked on. Bardock, you can say he's the best, one of the best in the game because his team supplements that. His Super Gogeta buffs that he gives to him, his buffs that he gives to LF Broly, to Namek Goku, makes him the best. But him alone cannot manage to stand up to these three alone. In a one-on-one scenario type of ordeal, you would not think Bardock will beat any of these three. Type advantage or not, he would not beat them in any scenario. If it's normal player versus normal player, same ranking, same everything, he would not win. And the same goes for Gogeta. Gogeta, obviously, just like I just said, is supplemented by Bardock. So Gogeta's kit is great, he's phenomenal, but he would prefer that himself not be up here because he can't make it against these characters. He just can't. And you might say, oh, but he beats Android 18. It's colors. Colors don't matter. If Gogeta was purple, then I could say the same argument backwards, right? Colors don't matter. So, like I said, I do understand, and I actually do like the fact that it's just top 3. I didn't like that little, well, for now it's top 3, but I would prefer if Z just stayed top 3 because I didn't like the little, it just felt forced to see multiple characters in a Z tier, which you would think, like, that's the highest echelon unit of the game. You would think they have a little more respect than to be thrown with other characters that are high up there, but they require some type of different scenario while these characters can just do it anywhere, you know? That's how I feel. Now, S tier. Obviously, Super Gogeta, Bardock, we just spoke about them, and Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Super Saiyan 3 Goku can be run on a Saiyan, well, Super Saiyan team because, well, he's just so nuts. You have Saiyan buffs flowing through. You got Namek Goku with double attack buffs. You got, I don't know, you just have a lot of Saiyan bench units that give attack, strike attack, and blast attack, all that. So, very good unit, very stupid character. He's basically Android 18, just a worse version for Saiyans, because he draws the strike, just doesn't get the card draw speed, and he destroys any God Key because even if you hit like Gogeta Blue with the ultimate, Gogeta Blue can't heal for 60 counts, and that's probably Gogeta Blue's main facet of his utility nowadays. People don't really care about his damage, but that guy can heal about 1 million health just by coming in off of autos because he heals and Vado's healing on top of that and health equips. But this guy can nullify that all and say screw you and stop a God Key team in its tracks with being color disadvantage. That's kind of ridiculous. Super 17, I actually want to see where he is for defenses. I'm very curious. Hold up, let's see. Hello? What in the hell? Okay, hello? I just want to see where he is for defenses. Okay, yeah, he's lower than Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and this guy is a defense type, like, in-game. Like, he has higher defensive stats when he came out, so if that says anything, Super Saiyan 3 Goku has rightfully earned that Z-tier spot. Boo is still broken. They're scared to Zenkai. Another lock-in unit. You can see it. They're not going to Zenkai Green Bardock anytime soon. Yellow Movie Gohan. Even the lock-in units we do have nowadays, they are always restricted to locking in the certain timer counts, certain Dragon Balls, certain situations. They're very scared to use lock-in units now because they know how much they stunt the game and how busted they were when Boo dropped, and when Yellow Movie Gohan dropped, they kind of just unfun the game, and there's no counterplay to a character getting their main ability pressed. You can't counter that. It's just gonna happen, you know? People get their main ability, they'll most likely have almost a rush by that time. Before the lock ends, they'll have a rush. Your unit will be screwed because you didn't predict 30 seconds ahead of time to swap out. It's not fun. There's no counterplay. That's why they're scared to do lock-ins. Trunks, I still think he's very underrated. I don't see many people ever talk about him. I think it's just because he came out at a weird time spot. No one was like, oh god, Future really needs this buff when he dropped. It's just the Future got a buff, which, you know, it's kind of a trend they follow where Future just gets a buff whenever they feel like it, which seems every banner, which isn't a good thing, but I digress. Trunks is very good on a hybrid team, very good on Vegeta families, considering it is very heavily blast-based with this Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta dropping, and him being... Honestly, I say he's better than Red Gogeta. I made that hold on. I'm speaking really quick because there's a lot of shit to cover. I made that versus video between Super Gogeta and this Vegeta, and everyone's telling me Super Gogeta is better, Super Gogeta is better, Super Gogeta is better. No, you're wrong. I'm sorry. I know you don't agree with me, and that's fine. But, like, to help the team, to make the team the best it can be with Angel Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and a red, because full color counter, full color cover, all that, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is better for the team. Now let me explain why, because I don't think it's understood why he's better. Vegeta's main ability buffs ultimate special move damage, right? To buff both of those, which Goku has. And by the way, Angel Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and the red Gogeta and or Vegeta is the best Saiyan team in the game. So I'm talking best team in the game here. Vegeta buffs ultimate and special move damage on his main, not even on his ult, just on his main alone. And he buffs damage inflicted. So let's say you have your Super Saiyan 3 Goku. He's built up 3 or 4 times. On top of, you have that, I think it's 20-30% ultimate damage, on top of another 20-30% damage inflicted for that ultimate itself. He will make Super Saiyan 3 Goku kill probably every single character in the game with one shot, if you know how to play him correctly. If you play that team to a T, and you play it every day, and you learn how to manipulate those counts, manipulate the situations, and get at least maybe 2 swap-ins with Super Saiyan 3 Goku in, Goku can one-shot almost every character in the game. I guarantee you on my life. So Vegeta himself is not better than Gogeta, but Vegeta, for the team of Angel Vegeta and Super Saiyan 3 Goku, is by far the better unit. Blast-based, change the strike to blast on his green, gives more strike sustained damage when he does a blast. So if you have any strikes, you can swap into, let's say, Super Saiyan 3 Goku or Angel Vegeta and get rid of them, and it'll do more damage. And the ultimate can faint. Gogeta can faint on his blue, but it is what it is. Vegeta's better than Gogeta, just on that team. I want you guys to understand that. It's not even an argument at this point. But moving on, Namek Goku, wow, he's fallen down. It's just Namek Goku has easy counterplay, just like Lock-In is the opposite. There's no counterplay. You know when Namek Goku's going to do his thing. You just learn how your enemy plays, and you'll know when he's going to try to counter you, even if he gets to that scenario, because most people don't even leave Namek Goku for last man standing. They leave their Super Saiyan 3 or their LF Gohan, so Namek Goku's kind of just a fodder child. His Zenkai was not as big impact, I guess, as Gohan and Goku, which makes sense with the tier list, right? LF Piccolo, I think they are overrating him here. I think DKP has far by surpassed him. I understand why he's S tier, though. At least, I guess middle S tier. I understand. I'd say he can go down like a rung or 2. I do think he's worse than DKP. But Regen is very blast-based with 21, and Piccolo, honestly, you could run a strike or blast-based regen. It doesn't really matter. You're basically giving up Boo or you're giving up DKP when you're switching between blast and strike-based. So Piccolo could be worse. I don't, this isn't like a big change I'd make. I'd just say he's a little bit below Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and DKP is a little bit above him because DKP just does more damage, better stats, steals Dragon Balls. That's a main ability that'll never be bad, right? You'll never be like, oh shit, I stole his balls. It it's a good main ability that'll never get old. It's one of those, I don't know who else has one that's very similar. I would say it's like a lock-in, right? It's just a main ability. You can never be like, oh, this will negatively hurt me or impact me. Like if someone destroyed all cards, hey, this is like 10 times better than a character that destroys all cards with their main ability and draws an ultimate, then, you know, something else. But yeah, DKP above Piccolo, in my opinion. Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Super Saiyan Blue Goku. I think he's fallen down because God Ki has no red. I think he is a very good unit with Super Saiyan God Vegeta and Vados, and you could bring Blue Gogeta if you must instead of God Vegeta. I just like God Vegeta more because you don't even need to necessarily have that strike cover at close range. You could just have it be, okay, he'll do a blast from long range and then he'll do another blast and I can dodge that second one if I go to God Vegeta, even if I don't get that throwback mechanic that God Vegeta offers with his cover swap. So Blue Goku, good support, good green card, good main ability, good a lot. His team is just lacking. That's it. Nothing more to him. And I am surprised that God Vegeta, okay, all right, he's top of him. Okay. We'll go through tier 1 and a little bit of tier 2, but all right, I'm surprised he's not S tier, honestly. Green Goku Black is stupid. You already know. He's just the best non-Zenkai in the game. He's comparable to other Zenkais in the game. He's better than a lot of Zenkais in this game, honestly. And yeah, that's just it. Green Goku Black's just nuts, and everyone has him good stars. And they're rating him at 7. If they rate him at 14, I would say he's probably... I would say he's a little higher up here, but they're rating him at 7, so 7 stars it is. Revival Cell is a much better Revival Goku. I'd say he deserves where he is right now. You could put him up the food chain a little bit. Again, this is another character you should have very high stars. He's been on so many banners, so many good banners, honestly. And just a very good unit. That Revival is obviously one of the best mechanics in the game, if not the best mechanic in the game. And he was the founder of it. They've been trying to nerf it with Revival Goku. They did a piss poor job because now Revival Goku is pretty mediocre because they want him to tank while they want him to do damage, while they want him to have low stats. You can't do all three. He does none of them, honestly. And he gets a lot of damage buffs just kind of artificially, which does not help him at all. So, Cell makes sense. Topo, Jack of all trades. Good support. Lock-in, ultimate. What else does he heal? I think he heals on his main ability. His allies or himself, something like that. +5 to sub count, or 3 to sub count to the enemy on his blue card when it hits. And yeah, he's just a Jack of all trades. Very good unit. Blue 21, just the core. Very good support for regen and androids. She, honestly, not even her herself being that good. It's just the card draw speed on top of the decent stats. She can just sustain well enough and support her allies just well enough to keep her as a core member for a very long time. She's most likely going to be a core member more than... I was going to say more than Boo, but as much as Boo is a core member of the old regen team, which lasted a long time, so... And Boo is still a core member if you really want a Rock Strike-based regen. DKP, I have no good inputs about him. I wouldn't care if this guy were tier 2 or S tier. I've never seen him being underwhelmed. Well, I've never seen him be overwhelming. I've only seen him be underwhelming. You have to swap in and out of him while transformed to get him to even do more card draw speed, to do more damage. I feel like he has a lot of setup needed for a unit that doesn't do as much as, let's say, Super Saiyan Blue Goku or Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. He just needs a lot more stuff for him to do just decent damage, not even good damage. So I don't have any good thoughts about him. Hit, obviously I put Hit a little higher up. I'd say he could be above DKP, but that's it. Blue 21, you could argue Hit or Topo, but I would say Topo wins that with ease. Hit does a lot of damage, very glass cannon-y. If you know how to play him correctly, you can always have your Vanish with him because that blue card restores 60% of Vanish on top of his main ability. nullifies cover changing, so Gogeta Blue effect, which is very good. And funny enough, Jiren has that effect too. It's just that nobody talks about Jiren because Jiren's just not as good, I guess. I don't know. Jiren's very good, but no one talks about him. But he nullifies the cover changing, does insane damage, even type disadvantage, because he has so much damage passives in his unique ability. Very good unit. The only thing you really need from him is high stars, just so he can tank a little better, but even a 3-star hit can destroy like a Zenkai 7 Super Saiyan God Vegeta if you play him correctly, and that is no cap. Vados, okay, tier 1 Vados. Vados should be higher, she should be S tier. Her healing is very underrated. She gets up to card draw speed level 2, I believe, at a certain time in the match. Again, I'm not sure completely, but I know she does get that because I've seen it. Green card is one of the most tedious in the game to deal with. It's basically EX Whis' main ability, but better, and doesn't reduce card draw speed. But if you have no key, how can you do cards anyways? It's one in the same. Her blue card, I think it's one of those that's like cooler, where if you throw it at the same time as somebody else, hers will overpower, which is very good, and it seals strikes for, I believe, 5 counts. Also another good facet, and her healing is just unparalleled. It's the same thing as Angel Vegeta, but she is just a better Angel Vegeta for God Key, Girls, Rival Universe, a lot of tags. Very good unit, should be S tier. God Vegeta could be worse. He's very good on God Key, not very desirable on Vegeta family because he is strike based, but a unit that should be run on your core God Key team if you don't have a high star Gogeta Blue. Android 21, I just like her damage. She has double cover rescue, but you'll most likely never get the double off because you have to pop your main ability, and with how quickly you die in this game and the stats of these non-Zenkais, she'll most likely die before you get to pop her main ability into her second cover rescue. So you might get one off, and then you might pop her main, but by the time you pop her main, maybe you're getting hit by a blue card and she's dead by one-shotted Super Saiyan 3 Purple Goku. Very good at doing blast damage, and that's about it. And her, I think, ultimate locks in when someone's dead, but again, you're not going to prioritize her over your Android 18 or even your Revival Cell or even your Blue 21 sometimes, unless you're trying to farm Dragon Balls with Blue 21, but I'd rather my Blue 21 be alive to support my Android 18 if I so run those units together. Kid Buu, one of the best LFs. I think he's actually the highest LF here that's new, right? Yeah. I agree. He is, I'd say he's on par with UI Goku. Now, UI Goku, obviously, we had more crystals for, so I'm a little biased on that. It's just the character you knew was character you knew an idea of was coming. We figured something hype was coming. Obviously, we figured Goku Black because Black Friday, but we all had crystals saved up for Black Friday. UI Goku drops. One of the best in the game. But Kid Buu, if he wasn't on a regular, just baity step-up banner, I would say his banner was one of the best in the game, for a step-up at least, because Angel Vegeta will be probably the best supporting Saiyan until, I would say, 6 months from now. Even then, he might be the best supporting Saiyan. Just look how long Kid Goku lasted. This guy's 10 times better the unit Kid Goku ever was, especially because he heals. But Kid Buu, man, I would say he's one of the best LFs in the game that is not a Zenkai. And I know that's not a great argument because most LFs that are in Zenkai aren't that great. Like Future Gohan isn't that great, Rosé's not that great, Goku's not that great, Super Saiyan 4. Gogeta Blue is alright, and Broly is reliant on Bardock to do overwhelming damage. And UI Goku, I think, compares well to him. They made him after UI Goku. I think it's a very good secondary option to him in terms of how he's built. He gets his Vanish back often. He has the green card. He has Vanish Recovery. Same thing with it, actually. LR Piccolo now has Vanish Recovery with his unique. I think it's 50% Vanish Recovery up for like 10 counts for Piccolo. I'm pretty sure Kid Buu has the same feature, if not a little better, because he's an LF. Ultimate, or main ability actually, cancels attribute upgrades. So LF Gohan kind of goes bye-bye. all that bullshit stuff that happens for last man standing, this guy can just say no. Very good unit, honestly one of the better LFs in the game, and very well made. I very much like Kid Buu. Vegeta, I just went on a spiel about him. One of the best units in the Saiyan category. Well, tag category, same thing. Will never be replaced for a good minute just because he heals on top of decent support. Very good unit, and honestly, a unit that people should have went harder for. It's just sad that the banner seemed so mid at the time, which it is, but units weren't. God Vegeta, a staple on God Key. Well, not God. I guess you could run him on God Key. More staple on Future than God Key. Staple on Vegeta family because of support. And overall, just probably one of the best aging units in the game since Yellow Cell. His support is unparalleled, destroying 3 Dragon Balls, reducing sub count on main. He's a very good unit, and honestly, if you don't have him high stars, I recommend you Z-Power him up because he's not going to go anywhere for a long time. Bergamo, very slept on, good damage dealer, good tank. He heals back a portion of the damage taken in a combo. Green card can go through literally anything. So they do an ultimate, he can green card it. They do a blue card, he can green card it. Broly does his barrier, he can green card a barrier. It's a dumb thing. Same thing as Buhan, Green Buhan from First Anniversary, and other units since, but the most notable one is Green Buhan because that green card is so defensive and oppressive at the same time. It's very hard to counterplay that unless you just outplay your opponent entirely. Green Broly, very tedious, which makes him good. Not much else to say about him. Haven't actually been able to use them. I just got Zenkai 7 today, so might be doing a little showing him off here soon, but not much I can say about him right now. Kid Goten, very good support, and that's basically all. You start with him in a Sun Family team or a hybrid team, then you switch to LF Gohan, you switch to Super Saiyan 2 Blue Trunks, then they do damage. That's all he is, support. I think when the enemy switches, he heals a little bit, or after a certain amount of counts. His green card has blast armor, but it does nothing. Literally, it does nothing. I think you get Ki back, and that's it. He gets card draw speed, but his damage is nothing to be impressed about. His support is the only reason he can last up here, on top of his Z ability being double attack. LF Gohan, Future Gohan, is good support. Not as good as Goten because the star differential, you will see Goten at higher stars than you will see LF Future Gohan because, again, these step-up banners were very baity, very not good for when they came out and, you know, how they're implemented into the game at this point. Good support, gets, I think, 40% health back on his endurance instead of the typical 20% or 30%, whatever it is. He can seal, I believe it's green card and blue cards with his main ability. I think his strike gives his vanish back 10% each card used. He has card draw speed. Very good green card, actually. Gives key back and nullifies attribute downgrades and all that stuff. So, like, paralyze and all that can't affect him. Very good unit, just low star LF. Again, honestly, just another slept on LF that I thought was a little worse than initially thought. So, good now. Thought he was bad. No one really cared for him. Seems like consensus for a lot of these LFs. UI Goku and LF, everyone loves to love because you can just win a match with him solo because of how vast his playstyle is with that unique vanish gauge and all the stuff he can just do with it. This guy always seems like he has a green card on him because he's so tedious to play against. He doesn't even have to play the game to do well. It's just a very good unit, very well designed. And honestly, I thought they'd botch UI Goku when they made him, and surprisingly they didn't. They made him not broken, not too balanced to where he's like mid. They made him very good. I'm impressed. Caulifla, she's good against Saiyans. That's all. Champa, he's a third-rate option if you don't have Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta or Zenkai 7 God Vegeta. Broly, slept on, called shit, called trash when he is not any of those. Yes, he was relying on Bardock, but even on his release, you would run him with Bardock. Gets double card draw speed, can go type neutral up to 4 times, 2 in his base, 2 in his transform state. so he can tank yellow units hits, i.e. Android 18, if you so need. You know, he's not going to take them as well as every other unit in the game, but he can take the hits and not die in 2 cards, which no other purple can say the same. Very good unit. I think he's very underrated for the unit he is, because people wanted broken, and he wasn't that. He's just very good. Gohan, he has been replaced. Hybrids, Sun Family, they don't need him. He's just not really existent. I would say this guy can easily be in tier 2 and no one would care. Beerus has been fallen off because Vados exists. His main utility would be locking main abilities, which is still very good to this day. Again, a timeless thing, just like stealing Dragon Balls, just like locking a main ability. Let's say you have a LF Gohan, Last Man Standing, and you have your Beerus, or you swap from Vados to Beerus. That Gohan can't use his main ability. He can't really do his maximum output because Beerus just exists to screw him. Very good unit for that alone, and basically nothing else. Even his green card, you have better green cards than his, because his is so difficult to get off, because it's a up close range flick where you have no blast armor. Good for Zenkai ability, good for his unique that seals mains, and that's about it. Launch is, I mean, she doesn't even deserve to be up here. I would say there's others that definitely do. She's alright. She's not bad, I guess. She's not good. Just alright. I don't know why she's even here. There's not much to say about her. I'll go through up till Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and then we will end this video, by the way. So, tier 2. LF Broly, again, these are considered at 3 stars still, these LFs, so please take this with a grain of salt. He is reliant on Bardock, that is all. He will not do his overwhelming damage unless you have Bardock buffs on him, which, if you don't run him on that team, I don't suggest you run him at all. Vegeta Blue, again, at 3 stars he's rated. Doesn't do the damage he once did once he released. On top of the new, well, not even new at this rate, the new-ish, I guess you could call it, swapping more than once in a combo, Vegeta Blue kind of lost his, luxury of just infinite comboing and making people switch out to where you switch out and color advantage them. So, kind of lost that luxury when that update came out. Besides that, decent unit, 3 stars though. You're not going to expect much from him. Trunks and Mai is their worst Super Saiyan Blue Purple Vegeta. Support unit, and just doesn't seem as good, honestly. This is like a hand-me-down Purple Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Could be worse, could be better, but not an ideal pick for the teams you want to run them on, which is the same teams Vegeta's on. Trunks, Zenkai 7 Red, I'd say he's lower. You're not going to use him in play. He's a Zenkai bench for LF Gohan, and that's basically it. Gogeta Blue, 3 stars. He's actually usable, runnable compared to Broly and Vegeta Blue. I would say he's a lot usable, more runnable than them, just because you have that support from all his teams, from God Ki, from fusions with Kefla, that support, from Saiyans. He has more options to be supported and be used in a more, viable sense. But is he good? No, he's just alright at 3 stars. Better than the other 2, though, I would say. So I'd say he's above them. Green Gotenks, I don't have him fully done. He has card draw speed, he gets a full hand and some key back on his main, and that's basically all I know he does. And then he can tank. That's it. I think he just went up because Legends Road got another buff. And they thought, okay, well, this buff increases the usability of Jesus Christ, I'm mixing up my words because I'm thinking of Rose. This Legends Road buff increased the usability of a Legends Road team, so Gotenks goes up. On top of him being green, he color covers LR Piccolo, which I have no clue where that guy is. I'm not going to discuss him, he's just too low. Rose, not very good. He has the bleed, and that's basically all he got. You got the green card that can go into the blue card, which goes neutral, and that's it. He's not a very good LF, and non-LF you should have summoned for. And that's all. Just mediocre. Now, Super Saiyan 4 Goku. trash. He is the worst LF to drop since, I don't know. I think he is the worst LF on release in this entire game. You could argue Beerus was worse when he dropped. You could argue Super Saiyan 3 Goku was worse when he dropped. But no, I think this Goku by far outweighs them. Just because his green card doesn't increase anything to himself. It does nothing to help him. It's just, oh, sub count, great. Future Gohan, green Future Gohan from almost 2 years ago at this point, increases his damage when he throws the enemy out. He doesn't have blast armor, but he increases his damage. This Goku doesn't do that. He's an LF that came out almost 2 years later. Come on. Blue card does R8 damage. He wants someone to die. But you look at the teams a Goku character is on. You don't want this guy to be your last man standing, second last man standing, or even on the damn team. Damage is underwhelming. He needs someone dead. You want him dead over anyone else on your teams because you don't care about him. And he has cover rescue, but that's all. And yeah, let me actually check something real quick with LR Piccolo, and I'll end this video after that. Alright, so yeah, I was just reading over LR Piccolo, and yeah, this is why they put Gotenks a little higher, because he does this right here, shortens own sub count by 2 as default, plus fly effect self when this character is defeated, plus 30% damage inflicted, 30 timer counts, and gives card draw speed by 1. I forgot that, even though I just did a video on him like a few days ago. But yeah, that's why they increased him in the ranking for Gotenks and himself, obviously, because he's Zenkai'd, and well, because the card draw speed, so Gotenks would have level 2 card draw speed after his death, so it makes sense for that, huh? Yeah, because I'm looking through more, and all he does is just buff strike attack, which I guess Gotenks can use because he is more strike-based than defense-based on his stats. But yeah, that's why Gotenks went up. That's just my thoughts on the list. Let me know what you guys think of GamePress's tier list. I think their improvements and changes they've made are for the better and not for the worse. And once they start rating LFs at 6-star, I think, which will be coming soon, their improvements will be much better than how they typically had it prior to this update of it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.